Three chapters, three very important chapters, and the thing to remember is, as we're going through this, I kind of skipped through the first couple verses, and then I'm thinking, well, why did Moses send advanced scouts? Didn't he trust God that God's going to give it to him? And Moses sent the advanced scouts because God told him to. Right in verse 2, the Lord says to Moses, "Send some men to explore the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the Israelites." God's staying right there. I'm going to give it to you. I promised it to you. I'm going to give it to you. Send these guys and just get it done. All you have to do is walk in. So it identifies the different tribes that are going, the different leaders, who's going to go on this advanced trip. And then Moses sent them to go explore Canaan. He wants to know how's the soil, is it fertile or poor, trees or not. Do your best to bring back some fruit of the land so people can see the proof. Because right now, the Israelites still don't know who God is. They're still not familiar with God. Sure, they've done sacrifices. Sure, they've seen this. They've seen the fruit of what God can do to Egypt, but we're forgetful people. So Moses wants them to provide proof. And the land is so abundant, we're going to see later how many people took. It took 2 guys to carry a single cluster of grapes, in verse 23. 2 of them carried it on a pole between them with some pomegranates and figs. You know, pomegranates and figs, they're not big, but the cluster of grapes, it was so abundant.
Well, those must have been big grapes.
Big grapes.
A better mug.
When I see grapes this big, I'm kind of,
Yeah.
I probably
you know,
would.
wow.
What I wonder about
Yeah.
this though,
Aren't
now
they
that you
close
read
to
that,
something?
17 here,
Just like a baby
Yes.
apple.
Moses told them what to look for and where all to go, but yet we don't see where God told Moses to have them looking for this. So is that part of Moses again, like with the rock, going beyond what he should have? Or is that just not covered?
Because I thought he talked to Moses.
God did tell Moses to send men to explore.
Yeah,
So maybe Moses is giving them details. Here's what I want you to find. To
well, but again, that's
show
it.
you
Here's what I want you to find.
Could be. Because that's a good point, because sometimes when Moses is obedient to God, it tells us at the end, as the Lord, or Moses did everything the Lord commanded. And we don't see that at this point. But as we go into Numbers, we'll see the exact reason why Moses wasn't allowed to get to the promised land.
Right.
But
Right.
it could be a moment of weakness, hard to say, but good point, because we don't have that last little clue that Moses did everything God commanded him to do.
And what makes me wonder is again, God says, this is a land that I am giving you. But yet Moses is saying, well, check out the people, whether they are weak or strong. Check out, are they few or many? Why would you need to know that? God is giving you the land. Who cares who the people are?
Maybe that's where they get the seed of doubt.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I like the way
Very
it
good
says,
point.
the land we explored devours those living in it, because the people were of huge size. 32.
Yep.
Maybe there is an element of use the brains God gave us to look it over and make a best approach for God.
That's true.
Could be.
I mean,
Oh,
you'd hate to head blindly in with no
Mhm.
plan. But
Well, in my study Bible, it had a cross-reference to Proverbs 15:22. Plans go wrong for lack of advice. Many advisors bring success. So.
many advisors, so in
many
other words,
advisors bring success.
Google it, check around before you make your decision.
Research.
Just like in the House and the Senate
Don't
today.
go blindly in. Huh?
Just like in the House and the Senate today. Many advisors bring success.
take inventory before you attempt to build your house.
Sandy ground or rocky ground. Yeah, I haven't watched too much of that.
We avoid TV.
Nor will I.
Don't blame you.
It's,
Don't go
yeah,
there.
TV for the next 10 months.
Yeah.
Can't
it can be-
bear it.
Can be kind of bad.
What is this?
The TV commercials. for the
Oh.
next-
Every
Oh, yeah.
commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God for the mute button.
Yes.
That's the time to get up and
Yeah.
do some errands.
Yeah, do there, yeah.
Just look channels.
Yeah, but it's on every channel.
Canada has.
It's not on TVN.
Or Netflix.
That's true.
Not on
That's true.
TVN, so.
That's true. So the
We're-
report on the exploration, these guys come back and they're saying, well, we went into the land you sent to us and sent us to, and it does flow with milk and honey. Here's the fruit. They show all the abundance. But the people who live there are powerful. And the cities are fortified and very large. We even saw descendants of Anak there. The Amalekites live in the Negev, the Hittites, Jebusites, Amorites live in the hill country, and the Canaanites live in the sea and along the Jordan. So these guys, 10 of them out of the 12, they're cooking up some pretty good excuses why they shouldn't go. And then Caleb had the guts to stand up in front of all of them. Caleb's in verse 30. Caleb silenced the people of Moses and said, we should go up and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it.
Just asking, but would they be considered descendants of Ishmael?
No, no.
No.
Oh, you mean the Canaanites and all the other?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, those guys, yes, yep.
So pretty much anything, any Near Eastern other than Israeli would be?
In this case, yeah.
Well, some of them are through Lot's descendants also. But that's what the Moabites.
Yep. And I don't see the Moabites here yet.
It's my first year last year.
Just
Okay.
Yeah, the children of his daughters.
Ishmaelites. So Caleb knew that with God's help that they could do anything. And whenever we do something, going back to fear, we should let facts, not feelings, color what we're trying to do. Because fear is a feeling. But if we have facts, use the facts.
Or even when we're sent. The facts don't always
Yeah.
come true.
Yeah. And be confident in the facts like Caleb was and be able to defend it.
Because once again, today, fact is, you can't walk on water.
Sure.
But Peter did.
As long as he kept his focus.
Yeah, so as
Yeah.
long as the Lord's sending, just rely on Him.
And the Lord sent them, and they didn't rely on him. And the third thing we have to do is state your beliefs clearly and confidently. And Caleb did that. He said, we can certainly do it. What he forgot to add is, we can certainly do it with God's help. Because God promised it to them. But the men who had gone up with them, 10 out of 12, says, we can't attack those people. They're stronger than we are. And they spread among the Israelites a bad report about the land that they explored. And they just didn't trust God. They saw something that scared them. They weren't familiar with it. And they're still going through a period of training that God has got them on.
But again, this is what, 2 years and 2 months
Yeah.
after they
They're not
crossed
ready.
the Mediterranean Sea and it parted.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, 2 years later, it's like, God can't do this.
God freed them from the Egyptians. God brought all these plagues upon the Egyptians. God parted the seas for them. God has fed them for 2 years. God gives them everything they want, water, manna, meat, does everything for them, and they still don't believe. They're not ready. They're not ready. Verse 33. What do people think about verse 33?
The sons of Anak.
We saw the Nephilim.
That was the kicker, huh?
Yeah, we saw the Nephilim.
We were like
Descendants of Anak.
grasshoppers.
We seem like grasshoppers in our own eyes. We look the same to them. Where's the only other place we heard about the Nephilim? Genesis. What happened after we heard about them in Genesis chapter 6?
Wasn't that the Great Flood?
The flood,
Yeah,
the flood.
so they survived the flood.
So did this confuse anybody?
No, they were just so tall.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
So the flood wasn't that deep?
No, I'm just kidding.
They kept their nose above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they just called anyone of a certain height a Nephilim.
Could be. And that's what some of the commentaries said. We're not really sure. We're
Right.
Not certain.
Right.
That it could be they're so afraid, they just threw out these names that would back up their opinion. But another commentary said, bless you, if you look at Genesis 6:4, it kind of clears up any doubt. Genesis 6:4 says, the Nephilim were on the earth both in those days and afterwards, when the sons of God came to the daughters of mankind who bore children to them. They were powerful men of old, the famous men.
And that happened during Nimrod.
Good. Good. I'm not sure, because I don't remember, but is there anywhere in Genesis that says that everyone other than Noah's family was destroyed?
It tells us that those were the only humans that survived,
Oh,
were them, and they were supposed to go forth. But this one commentary, which was written by a rabbi, so I tend to give a little more credence to that, he says, Scripture's clear. The Scripture tells us that they were on the earth both in those days and afterwards. So we don't really know who the sons of God are. That's never really defined. But it says whenever the sons of God came to women. So Scripture's telling us, yeah, these could have still been the Nephilim. And this rabbi says, don't question anymore because it's in the Bible.
Well,
But again, we've got to remember that Noah had 3 sons, and it could have been one of the genetic lines from those sons also. Could have been.
we had a long discussion about this, I remember, back on Wednesday nights when we went through the Nephilim.
Yeah.
Long discussion, so move on.
So, yeah.
Seriously, it's like
We don't
a,
know,
it's like a
just the
dead hole.
Scripture tells us. They were there then, they're there now. So,
Like,
move on.
the devil likes to mimic everything God does. So you can read about Noah in the Bible, and you can read about the Gilgamesh epic among the Sumerians, and it's a parallel story, but they didn't create an ark that was quite like ours.
Mhm.
But,
Well, and when we went through Genesis, we saw that around the world, every bunch of people has a flood account.
yes, all of them do.
And all of them do.
Some of them are very, very interesting. The
Mhm.
Uxalum was one of the, in Alaska, the Alaska people have Uxalum. Look it up. It's an interesting story.
Not to be confused with the Oompa Loompas.
No, that was south.
That's just what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Uxalum.
So, in Numbers 14.
I'm so glad he said that. I was thinking that too.
In Numbers 14, the people rebelled. So
Oh, yeah.
these rumors were cooking up all night long, and the people just started to panic. And once again, they threw up the old standard. If only we had died in the
Yeah.
this wilderness. Why is the Lord bringing us to this land only to let us fall by the sword? The mob mentality kicked in.
You know, I know people like this today, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, whatever befalls them in the world, they just, oh, that's it, this is it. It's, you know what I mean? They cannot accept and understand.
Yeah.
Doom and gloom people.
And once it starts catching on, people start buying into the lie. So.
Doom and gloom?
I don't want to be around them.
Oh, no,
No,
me
just
neither,
walk
because they
away.
bring me down.
Yeah.
No, I agree. So no, I wouldn't have wanted to been there. Poor Moses.
No. Poor Moses and Aaron. Verse 5, then Moses and Aaron fell face down in front of the whole Israelite assembly. Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh, who were among those who had explored the land, tore their clothes. So the 4 people that believe in God's promise, they're just shattered. And falling face down, they usually fell face down when they're just overcome.
So they are kind of in mourning, because
In
they tear
mourning.
their clothes, they're in mourning.
Right, tearing their clothes is a sign of mourning.
Okay.
So these guys are just exasperated. And you see that throughout the Bible. Moses and Aaron falling down, it's either an act of reverence, like the Israelites did when they were first exposed to God in Leviticus, or an act of anger. Think of back when Cain's sacrifice to God wasn't acceptable. He fell face down. They're just so angry they don't know what else to do. So they just flop down. When tearing their clothes, that's a sign of anger and frustration also. They just can't believe that these people don't believe it. They don't believe that God's given them a land.
You know, Joshua and Caleb, they're from Judah and Dan, right?
I'd
The
have to check
tribes
that
of
out.
Judah and Dan.
Uh-huh.
Because here in a little bit, God's gonna say, hey, I'm gonna make these two guys and the tribes that they come from much greater than every other tribe. And Judah could beat Israel, all the other 10 tribes.
Yep. Was it Dan or was it Ephraim?
Huh?
I think it was Ephraim, wasn't it?
Ephraim, yeah, it might be Ephraim. Is it Judah and Ephraim?
Let's see if we can trace it.
Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, from the tribe of Issachar.
Issachar.
Hosea, the son of Nun, from the tribe of Benjamin.
I don't even remember that
Benjamin
stuff.
and Issachar.
One of the favored sons. So Caleb is in verse 6, 13:6.
Yeah, and Hosea,
Joshua
Joshua
is in verse 8. Okay, let's see here. Where are we at here?
14:12.
I will strike them down with a plague and destroy them, but I will make you into a nation greater and stronger than they. This is what the Lord's saying to Moses, because once again, Moses intercedes for the people. Because God was ready to just wipe them out right there. But Moses says, don't do that, because the Egyptians are going to talk about you, the other people are going to spread rumors that you took these people out of Egypt, and then when you couldn't deliver, that's why you wiped them out. So Moses is interceding for God, to God for the people. But God still wants to keep Moses, if he was going to wipe out the people.